There is an interesting debate about women's leadership styles as opposed to those of men. Judy Rosner, who wrote a book a number of years ago called America's Competitive Secret, the Women Managers, determined that in many of the corporations that she looked at, women tended to be what she called interactive leaders, whereas men tend to be command and control leaders. So men tend to be very hierarchical. Also, Deborah Tannen's work on speech and other scholars have identified men's speech patterns as being much more hierarchical. You know, why men don't like to ask questions, because it puts them in a one-down position. And that's part of perhaps the socialization of men that is more hierarchical than that of women. And that women leaders, the interactive leaders, tend to be more interested in power sharing, more consensus building. Now, the interesting thing about that is, I don't know whether that derives from any inherent qualities of women. There are some studies that suggest that women in general are more empathetic than men. But the interesting thing about interactive leadership styles is that these are now being taught to men who are working in sort of the new corporations that are much less hierarchical. I mean, knowledge-based industries. I mean, some of the most important people are the newest, youngest people that you're hiring. In those companies, there tends to be much greater equality among the workers as opposed to hierarchy. So men are taught to be interactive leaders, and they are commended for being so. Women don't get credit for being interactive leaders, even though it's very effective.